Welcome, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. A little somber start today, Thursday, March 11th, 2021. Rest in peace to Jackson Coker, who was involved in an accident yesterday morning. And I wanted to give him, some time for him and his family just to pay respects. One thing I want to share about Jackson was that, not only was he a part of that 2019 Westlake Chaparral state champion as a senior, he was also committed to play football at Columbia University in New York. But the reason why it kind of impacted me a little bit was because when Recon Athlete was launched in 2019, Jackson was one of our early supporters, and I was very grateful for him to kind of recognize what we were doing for the student athletes in our region here in Texas. And the biggest thing that kind of wanted to get across to everybody was, if you haven't seen Twitter and the friends and family and community for the Westlake Chaparrals, and as well as all the other high schools, very first class by all of them to, pay their respects and just, let the community know that, or let the Coker family know that they're supported. So I wanted to do our part. I wanted, me speaking on behalf of Recon Athlete, and I'm sure Chris and Zach will do theirs as well. Shout out to Snoop for doing some very special things on the internet for Jackson. And Jackson was a glue guy, a team guy, a guy who could definitely play ball at the next level. But he was going to be the best human he could be day in and day out. So just wanted to pay our respects and send thoughts and prayers to the Coker family. And Jackson's going to be missed. And if you haven't looked at social media lately, you'll definitely know he will be missed. And so. Very, very difficult time for the Chaparral family, but we're all thinking about y'all and we're praying for y'all and for the Coker family, especially with this great loss for Jackson Coker, gone at 19 years of age. Very difficult thing for everybody to process, but we're all going to make it through and we're all going to get through this together, God willing. So just wanted to thank y'all for letting me have that time to share that with y'all about Jackson, just what he meant to Recon Athlete and us for being an early supporter. So thank you, Jackson. And we'll be thinking about you, buddy, for sure. All right, let's get on to it. We have a big show tonight. Two guests, Mr. Braylon James, the DelValle Cardinal class of 23, as well as Mr. Reed Coleman, the owner of Texas Point Outdoors, will be joining us live tonight. Braylon will be joining us about 7:30 this evening, and Mr. Reed Coleman will be joining us about 8:10 tonight to talk about what he likes to do in the outdoors. And I heard a little rumor, James, I'm not sure if you've heard this or not, but Mr. Reed Coleman's been known to, be very self-sufficient in the woods. And we'll get into more of that when he gets on the air, so I can kind of talk to him about that. A lot of stuff going on. It is the week where free agency is getting more and more, treacherous due to the fact that people got to make room for those players that they're gonna need to go try to win a championship with. Houston Texans making news later in the day today. They signed a 1-year deal with the former Heisman Trophy winner out of Alabama, Mark Ingram, former Saint, former Baltimore Raven. He'll be going down to Texas. Maybe he can patch things up and maybe be a glue that keeps Deshaun Watson around. I don't know if that's going to be quite enough. Deshaun seems pretty evident that he wants to get out. I saw a tweet from Dan Orlovsky saying that, basically, listen up, everybody. Deshaun Watson's getting traded, and there's nothing pretty much the Houston Texans can do at this time just because of how far apart the two sides are at this time. So maybe something changes with free agency. The Dallas Cowboys restructured 3 big contracts to give themselves $17 million in cap space, so that that's after the deal got done with Dak Prescott. So I believe Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, Lael Collins, some money got moved around on the offensive line to kind of maybe see if they can sign a big name offensive tackler like Eric Fisher, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs. So there's going to be some big names going to be available moving forward in the free agency. We'll just have to wait and see if the names coincide with the needs of the teams, but that's going to be something that's going to probably be dealt out either right before or right after the draft as we kind of come to it. But it is 12 minutes after the hour. Like I said, we're going to get the energy back up. We're going to get Braylon James in here probably about 7:30. And I'm looking forward to it. So, Braylon, if you're watching now, we're looking forward to seeing you in about 15 more minutes, bud. And let's take a quick break real quick. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about recruiting news. There are some offers, excuse me. Let me get my English correct so I don't sound like a dunce. There are some offers that have dropped today, so we'll get those out to you when we get back on the flip side. And I'm ready to go because it's been a couple days. I don't know about you, but for me, it's been tough. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. Appreciate that. Got a lot going on tonight. Got to make sure we got a little hiccup here and there. It's all good. Getting back into the groove of things. I'm looking forward to some of these offers that have kind of come in. I like it underneath. I like the way it's rocking underneath like that. Looks good. Sounds good. Just got the thumbs up from Braylon. He's ready to go. We'll be getting that email sent out to him soon for the invitation. Dripping Springs wide receiver, 3-star athlete, recon rated by 3-star by us, by a recon athlete. Get on over to our Instagrams, Twitters, and Facebooks. I've been slipping, I got to admit. I've been slipping. I haven't been getting these posts out as soon as I could because we're trying to build a brand over here. We're trying to, we got other things growing, so I need to do a little bit more of a better job and get these offers posted so y'all can go see them on our socials, as they say. But Mr. Preston Alford getting an offer from Army. I don't know if y'all saw this, and it's too late to kind of get it up on the screen here. But Preston, I think I was telling you, he did a 470-pound squat. I think he weighs like 170.
Damn.
470 pounds. And he's just like, oh my God. Shout out to him getting that offer from Army. Corsicana's Javon Thomas picking up an offer from the University of Texas at Austin. He's saying that he's extremely thankful and blessed. And then, gosh, that man in Westlake, Mr. Connor Robertson, 6A, 2020, state champion for the Westlake Chaparrals, recon rated at 4-star athlete. Got to have the grades to get into this school. Got to have the grades to get an offer from this school. Stanford coming in. Getting an offer from Stanford, offensive lineman. Prestigious schools. Very got to be studious to get in there. Big shout out to Connor Roberts getting that offer as well. And then Mr. Caleb Brown, outside linebacker for the DelValle Cardinals, recon rated a 3-star athlete. Climb into a 4. 6 foot, 210, can run. This guy getting an offer from Boise State. This young man too, Caleb, he has the grades too, because he picked up an offer probably 6 or 7 months ago from Boston College, Catholic private school. Got to have the grades to get in that school as well. ACC representative for Boise State. Did you know that's how it's pronounced? It's Boise, not Boise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Waxahachie. You ever heard about that one?
No.
Shout out to Chris. He was the one who kind of taught me about the Boise and the Waxahachie. I'm like, I don't know where the is in the WAX, and I don't know where the E in the Boise is, but apparently it's a silent vowel, I guess it would be. So look at my grammatical skills right there. My grammaticamation.
Do you say it like that every time now? Boise?
No. I have to really be either in front of a camera, or I have to really be maybe speaking from someone who's from Idaho. I'll be like, oh, Boise. If I'm like, I mean, for real, like if they're and if they're from the potato state, in Idaho, and I would think I don't know if that's the proper term. Anyways, or if somebody's from like the Metroplex, Dallas-Fort Worth, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm from South Dallas. So like, oh, is it close to Waxahachie? But if it's like any other Texan, it'll be like Waxahachie. But you got to be careful though, because some of these people in Austin, they're from that area. They're like, oh, that's not how you say it. And I was like, oh, excuse me for you being pretentious enough to bring that to my attention, to call me on that error. I apologize. Excuse me. Waxahachie. You can't really say it like that. So what you do is all those words I just kind of formed real quick as a retort, you would just say, oh yeah, you're right. It is Waxahachie. That's what that little apology and affirmation means. All those other words.
Learn something new every day.
It's dumb. The offers kind of came in. They've been a little bit light right now. FCS still going. That's something I want to ask Braylon about is if he's watching any of this FCS football going on right now. 21 minutes after the hour. Has that email been sent?
It is being sent right now.
Excellent. I just didn't know if you had already sent it. I saw you over there clicking on a few things. I'm like, let's make sure I hold up my end of the bargain because I don't want them to be panicking. It's like, when you're waiting on an email and you're like, that email hasn't come in. No. Did you send it? Is it buffering? What's going on with the email? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into a break real quick. I will probably say in about the next 4 minutes. But anything over the past few days that has caught your attention in the sports world? Not really. No. Nothing. Not the people getting let go from, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you brought that to my attention about how Patrick Mahomes, they did a little, it was a Marvel meme, so I guess that's how it's kind of tied into you. So you basically said that there's, what is that? What's that? there's a dimension you go to in the Marvel universe when you get the Infinity Gauntlet. You go to that dimension and then you meet a little girl. Is that what it is, or a little human?
Little Gamora.
A little Gamora for Thanos, right? And so she asked him, like, what did you get? A Super Bowl? What did it cost? My offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if their other offensive lineman, their Canadian doctor offensive lineman, is going to come back. But Eric Fisher was let go. He was a number 1 overall, and that's what I wanted to also talk about too. Like, Eric Fisher was. I said he was trash in the little messenger, but I wouldn't say he was trash. I think he was just extremely misevaluated. He was evaluated as like a left tackle prospect coming out of college, and I was like, if anything, he's a right tackle prospect, and ended up like 2 years into his career, he got moved over to the next side, or to the right side from the left tackle, because his technique just did not suit the left side of the offensive line, especially for someone protecting like Patrick Mahomes. And I think it was really when Mahomes came to Kansas City and Alex Smith was leaving. And this is, of course, before Alex Smith's gruesome injury. But for Fisher to get moved to the right side, I think he could still be a highly productive offensive lineman. Maybe slide him into guard. But if you're going to leave him at tackle, he needs to stay on the right side, because I don't think unless he's going to be protecting a left-handed quarterback, maybe you can put him back on the left side. But for now, I think he needs to stay on the right, just because if you have a left-handed quarterback, you want a strong right tackle to make sure their blind side's getting protected. So 24 minutes after the hour, let's go ahead and take a quick break. On the flip side, we'll have Braylon James. Looks like he's getting suited up right now to come back. But let's take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back with Mr. Braylon James. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. March 11, 2021. Oh, we got a young man in the building. We got that man at a class of 2023, Mr. Braylon James, the freshman Adidas All-American, recon rated at 4 stars, getting offers from every school across the nation in the Power 5 zone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Mr. Braylon James. Braylon, how you doing, sir?
Is he muted?
Are you muted?
I think he's muted.
Let's see. It's all right. Man, let me tell you about this one. Are you good? No, we don't have you on this end. Let's tell you what. Let's go ahead and we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll get that squared away. 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in Mr. Braylon James. Braylon, how you doing tonight?
I'm real good. How are you, Paul?
Oh man, I'm doing wonderful tonight. It's a Thursday night. I appreciate you staying a little late night. It's about 7:30 in the evening. What are you usually doing about right now?
Usually just chilling, to be honest. I'll probably getting a little bit of homework, maybe play a few video games here and there, but yeah.
Is that how you spend your downtime with the video games after the schoolwork's done and everything?
Yeah, honestly, to be honest, I play video games. I make a little bit of music here and there. That's called the equipment really wasn't set up yet. I had my microphone right here, and I was like, wait, why can't you hear me? So, yeah.
yeah. We saw the little mic was muted, but it's all good. We got you squared away. Braylon, man, this is going to be a real relaxed interview where we just want to get to know you, the human, and kind of just let the world know. For everybody who's kind of like, trying to garner your services right now, how do you feel things kind of developed in your second year varsity letterman, going over to Del Valle? How do you think the season went overall and playing such high-level competition in that district?
Honestly, I feel like, personally, I'm just a person who always thinks there's always room for improvement. So I definitely feel like there was a lot of places I missed. But as far as being able to contribute, I feel like I contributed really well and I helped my team. As far as my next year's contribution, I like it to be way higher. I only received for like 442 yards this year and only 7 touchdowns. But me being young, I feel like that just shows that, you still have a lot of work to do. And I felt like that was a reflection on me. And like you said, we play so much high-level competition. We're in the district with the best 2 teams in the state, in my opinion.
True.
Back-to-back state champions, Westlake, and then you have Lake Travis on the other side. So there's always competition. I feel like, there's definitely room for improvement. But I feel like my contribution was definitely.
Yeah, but for you too, like just even in your own, like in your bubble in Del Valle, like y'all have so much talent on the defensive side of the ball. What's it like going against guys, on the other side, like week in and week out? And then I'm going to get into a little 7-on-7 after you get that answer.
Yeah, but honestly, it's really crazy. It's good that you mentioned that because our defense is so underrated. We had players like Jaden Cofield. We had this corner named Lawrence Folke. He's a 23 as well, but he's an underrated cornerback. He's going to be really good. He's going to get recruited soon, I hope. Caleb Brown, but like you said, it's really competition every day in practice, every day in the weight room. Everybody's getting after it, and that's something DelValle is really a force is the defense.
Now, are you still training with Derek Lewis, the mechanic? I see you. I see you real active on Twitter with the with Coach Hooks and Coach Flight too. So like, how is that really kind of going on with the 7-on-7, and then your like personal training with the mechanic? How's that kind of coinciding together to help you grow?
Usually every week I'll do my own personal training, but as far as like weekends, one weekend I'll be with Hooks, and next weekend I'll be with D-Lou. But as far as like which one I prefer more, something like that, it's really none of that. I mean, I feel like they both teach me particularly different things that I need to focus on in my game, and I feel like both of them are helping me expand my game to where I need to be. I also work with Bernard Blake.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of our juice coaches as well, but he's been helping me get my footwork down and stuff like that. We've been building up hip strength, so yeah, most definitely.
Do you think your get off is like where you want to spend a lot of time? Just because we see guys like Devontae Adams, like at the NFL level, have such great feet that they almost don't even have to use their hands. But for like you still being young and developing your craft, do you see that footwork being like the most important thing to have that get off? Because for your position, especially when you're mossing folks, like when you get that get off, that creates so much separation to have a quarterback get you the ball where it needs to be, but also you have this like catch radius. I think you said like 83, 84 inch catch radius. Like how does your feet help you get that catch radius expanded?
Personally, I feel like my feet work is like the worst part of my game. Like right now, I feel like since I'm one of the bigger, like I'm on the bigger side as far as receiver goes. So I feel like, there's definitely room to improve there. I feel like I'm quicker than most big guys my size. I feel like I'm well-rounded and stuff. But as far as my footwork and being able to create separation off the line, I feel like it's pretty solid right now in terms of going against high school level DBs, but once I get to the college level, I feel like it needs to be a lot better in order to create more separation, like you said, so I can be able to make those big time plays. Because at the end of the day, if you can't get open, there's really no point in being able to make all those.
Now you're on your own team Juice on 7-on-7, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah. What's it like going up against those guys? Those are like elite everywhere you go.
Yeah, we have elite talent all across the board. We have young guys who are really good. We have 24s, Leonard Moore, he just got an offer from Tulsa. Fatu Makuba, Andrew Makuba's little brother, he just got an offer from Tulsa. But as far as talent, there's nothing like there. I feel like, honestly, out of the most 7-on-7 teams, I feel like we're the most underrated, mainly because we don't have as many recruits as the other 7-on-7 teams. A lot of our players are underrated. Like, I can name a few ton of people. We have a lot of people with offers on our team, but compared to other 7-on-7 teams, you look at teams like Fast Houston, True Buzz, we don't have as many highly named guys as you would see. So I definitely feel like we're one of the most underrated teams, but we're stacked all across the board. Like I said, it's the top talent across Central Texas, and it can't get any better than that, to be honest with you.
Are you the flag bearer for the 23 class? Is that you?
You said what?
Are you the flag bearer? Are you the guy leading that 23 class for the ATX? Is that you? Are you the man?
Yeah. Personally, I don't really know who's really leading it. I'd like to be able to say that, but it is what it is. Yeah.
So, man, you talked about making music. You talked about playing the video games in downtime. Do you stream it all? Do you do Twitch? What do you do?
Nah, I don't do none of that. I was thinking in the car just now. I came back from getting food, but I was like, man, I really want to start a YouTube channel or try and pop off my TikTok or something just to explore a different side of my life. Maybe I could do I could also do football on the side here and there. But yeah, I definitely been thinking about doing something like that, or like live streaming myself making music. That's something I always wanted to do too. So
You got to grow the brand. The way things are moving in the
mm,
college world, you got to make sure the brand is just as hype as the talent.
most
You have
definitely.
all the talent. As for going to the recon side, I founded Recon, and I wanted to have a new show to kind of bring a new platform for just to meet the athletes in the area. But one
Mm,
thing I noticed with you so early was when you were at that freshman All American camp, and then I kind of saw how much attention you were getting by just the private coaches. I had to like reach out, and when I watched your huddle, that's when I was like, this dude's a 4-star guy. There's just no
yeah.
question about it after your freshman and middle of your sophomore year. So moving forward, where do you see yourself going to college? Have you located a school? Is there somebody who's kind of giving you all the attention, or are you still just wide open now?
I'm still most definitely wide open. I feel like I always want to play in the West Coast. You know, I got the Cal offer, but I really like
Mm-hmm.
them so far. I'm really liking Miami, Arizona State. Pretty much all the schools that have offered me, I've really fell in love with. You know, Maryland just offered me; they're great guys. Pittsburgh, they just offered me; they're
Yeah.
great guys. So I feel like currently it's still open. You know, because of COVID and them extending the dead period, that really hurt because it ruins athletes. As you saw, Evan Stewart today, he just decommitted
Yep.
from Texas
Texas.
because he didn't get an opportunity to build relationships with those coaches and actually get an on-campus feel of what everything is like. And you know, I really feel like that's killing recruits nowadays because yeah, there's really nothing they can do as far as future wise because they don't have a fair look at what the school has to offer.
Yeah, and I think it really inhibits y'all's end as far as like experiencing the recruiting, lifestyle environment to kind of go into the campus and getting to meet the coaches and seeing the facilities. But on the flip side, how is the relationship building? Do you think that schools are kind of going a little bit more out of their way now, or does it seem how it was early in the beginning when you were still trying to get recruited? How is it compared now to the beginning?
I feel like more schools are definitely trying to go out their way. I mean, from my standpoint, that's where I see it from. I know a lot of people can say otherwise, but I mean, as far as Twitter following, them having to be updated on social media a lot, before, I mean, I'm still like my recruiting process just kicked off, but
Yeah.
before when I was on Twitter, I wasn't seeing like half of the coaches tweeting the stuff they were tweeting, all this different types of things. I feel like they have to I feel like they have to put their school on a higher platform in order to land these top recruits. And yeah, I feel like it's definitely changed a lot.
Yeah, I think you're 100% accurate with like your recruiting just now getting started because it sounds like to me the and I say the powers that be, the 24/7 guys, the rivals guy, they're just now really learning your name.
Yeah,
And so I
yeah,
think with that attention kind of coming in, I think you're gonna pop, man. And I hopefully for your junior year, I hope our gift is that you earn that 5th star for the recon rating because I think that you deserve it. I think your speed with your footwork, and man, as soon as you just kind of get over that hump, and I think with your footwork and your catch radius, I think those are going to be your biggest assets moving forward. But a little birdie told me, man, and I want to know if this is true. You run a 4.4?
Uh, laser, no. Hand time, I do run a 4.4. I mean, laser, I'm
Wow.
looking at a 4.5, like a mid 4.5 ish, so like a 4.55. But honestly, that was like a long time ago. I feel like I can drop my time a lot lower. And actually, I have the Under Armour showcase this weekend, so we're gonna see where I'm at as far as speed wise. But I feel like my speed is definitely underrated. Like I said, I'm a big guy, and people don't see me being able to move that fast. But yeah.
Well, if anybody's watching your huddle, they can definitely see you run just that fast.
Great.
Um, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for letting us come into your time. Is there anybody you want to give a message to? Do you want to shout out your music? What do you want to leave the people with?
Uh, Not really. I just want to shout out to my friends and family
Yeah.
for supporting me and getting me to where I need to be. Shout out to you and the whole Recon athlete team. You know, y'all been staying on top of the whole recruiting in the Central Texas area mainly. That's one thing I feel like really is starting to kick off. Central Texas athletes getting offered, and I feel like y'all being able to repost that and share that with the world really really means something. So That's about it.
Hey, Braylon, it's our pleasure. Everybody, let's give it up for Mr. Braylon James. Thank you very much for coming in, Braylon. And we appreciate you. Hey, we'll see you next time, all right?
Okay, for sure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Our pleasure. Man, what a great young man he is. Dude, he's got the grades, too. That's another thing we forgot to kind of get into. But next time we get him on the show, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot more information. Texas Showcase this weekend.
It's pretty cool. What is that? Under Armour?
There's going to be, it's basically like a combine for all the high-end athletes in the area, like Houston. They're all going to go converge. I'd like to host one of those with Recon once the money gets right.
Recon Athlete Showcase?
Dude, I would. You know what I really like to have is a 7-on-7 tournament. Like invite all those club 7-on-7 teams and just have this like huge tournament. Dude, I think that would be. But you gotta have like DJs and food and have it like catered. Have everybody just feel real safe in that little area. I think it'd be awesome.
That's cool, man. I had sent him a follow on Twitter whenever you said we were gonna have him as a guest, and
Braylon
followed me right back.
Yeah, man, Braylon James. He's a great young man. He's gonna be how this country changes. It's gonna be a good thing. I can't wait to see what he decides to do. He wants to be a mechanical engineer. It's gonna be dude's got elite talent, elite football talent, can hoop, play music. Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time to see what his progression is in the future. 7:43, 43 minutes after the hour. It is March 11th, 2021. Let's get a quick break before we get into it. Up to more to come. Mr. Reed Coleman with Texas Point Outdoors. Wait till I share this story with you when he gets on the air. I may have you look at his Instagram to kind of have a reference of what I'm talking about. All right, we'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. Back at it, man. I'm still kind of coming down from that interview. Such a good time to speak with Braylon. Still a young man. He'll have 2 more years wherever he wants to play high school football at. Currently, he's at DelValle. So looking forward to seeing him next year. Probably drag James along to see him in action. Lots of great talent in Austin, man. If I hope, and I think you will. I'm just saying. I can say I hope, just as a figure of speech, that get to see some of these high-end athletes in high school, man, because before you know it, they'll be playing on Saturdays, and then they'll be playing in the NFL. Mr. Reed Coleman coming up at 8:10. It is currently 7:50. My Twitter, man, I was trying to kind of see what I could see what was going on, and it's just this Twitter is all just dominated by WandaVision, because I think that's your fault. And then number 2, it's just full of Dak Prescott in a cowboy hat, which everybody is just falling in love with. And then,
is that a new image or what?
No, the image came out when he got franchise tagged last year. Was it last year? Last March. Like right when COVID hit. That's the other thing, is like, it's the anniversary of COVID. That's the other half of things, is like, you know.
You believe it's been a year? Goes by fast, huh?
Not when you think about it. Like, if you literally kind of think about what's been going on for the past 12 months, it's like, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot in the past 2 months, much less the past 365 days.
It's been such an unusual school year for my kiddos, dude. Like, they have, like, these days. They're called asynchronous days on Fridays sometimes, and they stay home and do at-home learning. Okay. And then, you know, last year they went on spring break, and it just kind of like merged into summer.
Stay home.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't know what's going on. Nobody does. Stay home.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think, was that good? Was that a good time to kind of just figure things out? Because it was everybody, remember last year, everybody was buying toilet paper. It's like, why are you buying toilet paper?
Everyone's ass needed to be wiped. So why like now that, you know, so it was toilet paper, but then, you know, whenever we froze over here in Texas, it was like milk and eggs.
Because those are staples. Like, there's staples that people need in the home, like milk, eggs, flour, because you can make a lot of things from those. Like, you can make, if you have a heat source, an oven or a fire, Dutch oven or cast iron, like, you can make bread with milk and eggs. If you have cornbread mix, you can make cornbread with, what is that other one? Cornbread with eggs and milk. And there's just so many more things you can do. Like, you can survive, you can sustain yourself with those, you know, perishable items. I remember last year, a friend of mine from work, a coworker, somebody was selling farm eggs, and they were just like on Facebook, like they just popped a tent, you know, like one of those pinwheel tents, like you see at the gosh, what are they called? Fairs, and they just like a booth tent, and yeah, they were just like selling eggs. It was like 36 count, but they just had the sleeve, and they didn't have a carton or anything. It was just like these stacks of eggs, and they were farm eggs, and of course they're brown, and they taste delicious. But if you're not used to them, like, they're going to taste a little different. But it was cool. We got to get some different eggs. Got to go through that. Dude, I was so prepared. I mean, I was so unprepared for COVID last year. I had, like, the supplies were scarce in the house. Didn't have anything. And then the tax return hit, and I bought, like, all this food and everything to kind of carry through the 2 weeks to slow the spread. And then here we are. Texas is wide open. 12 months later. I don't know, man. I think that a lot of it is, just Deshaun Watson. It's like, Deshaun, what are you going to do, man? It's like, I guess maybe it's not his fault, or maybe it's not his call, because Houston has to field the call from a team to make the trade. But it's like that's the way the NFL works, and that's what I don't like about the NFL, or I should say the ownership, because the ownership will control the insiders who work for all the media outlets, like Diana Rossini, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, those kind of guys. they'll feed a line or two to those insiders, and then those people will go run to their desks, and they work for the ESPNs, the Foxes, the CBSs, and then they'll make this story, and it makes the athlete look bad. And I'm just like, well, if y'all would just like talk to these other teams who want your player, who are willing to give you multiple first-round picks and maybe another player at that position.
You think they're not talking to anybody right now?
No, because what you see right now, especially with Deshaun Watson, it's like you have the head coach who came out and made a statement, like a video press conference, to say, I tried to talk to Deshaun, everything seems fine. And then they'll talk to Deshaun, they'll ask Deshaun, he's like, I never said that. And so you have all this information coming out that makes the organization look good, the franchise look good, and it makes the player look like they're misinformed or don't have all their ducks in a row. And so you kind of really don't understand who's telling the truth. And then at the end of the day, you'll have an 11th hour deal like J.J. Watt, and he'll go sign with a team nobody ever heard of, who was definitely not in the list of teams he was or wanted to go. It was like, oh, they're going to pay me the most, I'm going to go with them. If these people are willing to pay me this much, I can go here, and then 2 years later, I can go chase the team who's going to be winning Super Bowls. I can kind of identify it at that time, get my $30 million, and then, see where my skill level is at that time. But for Deshaun, it's a little different because Deshaun is like, y'all lost my trust. Y'all did something to lose my trust. And he's like, I'm good enough to where I can sit out a year. I can go clear waivers. Somebody will try to pick me up, and that team will pay you back the money you find me, and then I'll go play for them, and then that'll be it. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen. The last person to do this was this magnitude, Le'Veon Bell. He was the last one to kind of do it this big. So we'll see. Or Deshaun could just say, I'm retiring, pay back $21 million, and once the new year clears, then he can go play for whoever he wants. But I really don't think that's going to happen right now. All right, it is 57 minutes after the hour. Let's get into a break real quick. On the flip side, we will have Mr. Reed Coleman, the owner of Texas Point Outdoors. Maybe I should get my hat. You think I should get my hat?
Yeah, why not?
My Texas Point Outdoors hat? I don't know if you'll be able to see my face because it's one of those big brim hats. Yeah. Maybe I'll put it right here so that you can see the logo. That'll probably work, you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show out of Studio 44. I had just showed James a video that we will get into a little bit later as soon as Mr. Reed Coleman gets on the air. Shout out to Texas Point Outdoors. He'll be joining us here in about 5 minutes. But in the meantime, James, have you ever seen a video like that? Let's not spoil the details until he gets on, but the video that I showed you, have you ever seen anything like that from someone you're about to talk to?
No.
Okay. So it's a pretty gnarly video, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a video that very few have seen, and allegedly that occurred. I don't know. That could have been like some kind of animatronic. That could have been some Jaws type of puppetry going on at a Universal Studios. But I'm not quite sure where or how that was. But when Reed gets on the horn, we'll see. How do y'all like my fishing hat? Shout out to Texas Point Outdoors. I have supported them. I want to get Reed's reaction whenever he sees it. I figured if I put it on, it may be like too dark. Let's see what happens. It's probably gonna be.
Might look like Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat.
Or Raiden.
Yeah,
Raiden.
Yeah, Raiden.
It's got a cool floral print, or it's like a fish print.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad, right?
Yeah.
Whenever I go to the beach, I'll definitely be rocking this, doing my best to brand. What if we got a Paul Rodriguez hat or like this, or a Recon one? No?
Not for me.
Gonna be you ain't no angler fishing out there catching some bass, or no? That ain't you?
Not me.
That ain't your ticket?
Not my ticket.
You're not. Have you ever fished at the city park?
Yes.
At that pond?
Yes.
See, then you're an angler. You're a fisherman, whether you want to admit it or not.
There's a funny story. So I had went over there. I don't know where these guys came up with it. They were like, James doesn't know how to fish, right? And I was like, what the fuck? And they kept on. It was like, I don't know.
These are your buddies, or these are just guys you know?
Yeah, they were probably trying to piss me off. So we all three of us go out there, and myself included, to go fish. And I'm the only one that caught 2 catfish that day.
So you caught those 2 catfish, and you had to like prove people wrong just so that you could save face. Is that what it was?
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Looks like Reed's ready.
Looks like Mr. Reed Coleman is getting on board. As soon as producer James gives me the green light, I'm going to give him a resounding entrance. Ladies and gentlemen, a former member, or will always be, once a Marine, always a Marine, a proud serviceman in our United States military, serving the United States Marine Corps. The Devil Dogs must have been where he got all that fortitude to allegedly stone a wild hog that was charging and attacking his dog. Ladies and gentlemen, the owner of Texas Point Outdoors, Mr. Reed Coleman. Reed, how's it going, bud?
Good, man. Good to see you, Paul. Thanks for the intro. I really that's a great intro. I need to record that and play it back for my wife.
We'll send that over to you and see how everybody likes it. Hey, do you like my hat? What do you think about this hat here?
I know. I saw that. I need to get you a mug. I've got some new mugs in finally, and I meant to send one out over the holidays. I told my wife because we got some extras in stock. I know at one point you were looking for them, and I said I was going to send one to you and Chris as well. And life just got in the way. So I need to get your home address and get you one out for having me on and everything else you've done.
Not a problem. Hey, you got those really slick guitars, and I know you have a multitude of projects going on, but tell everybody about another venture that you have and those guitars, because they're looking real slick, man. And of course, we live here in the Austin area, the greater Austin area. Live musical of the capital, as they say. So talk a little bit about that and what those guitars are and your other venture that you have going on.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see, there's quite a bit. And then on this wall,
those
too,
are
there's
nice.
quite a bit over here, too. And the whole room's just covered. But, I'm kind of I just started last fall, like a little company, side project called Live Oak Guitar Company. Right now it's on Facebook. And what we do and what I need to get back into, I just haven't had a chance to buy many guitars, and part of the problem is when I buy a guitar, instead of selling, I want to keep it. So, but what the business model is, so I became a dealer for a guitar company and bought some of their surplus guitars, and then I in turn had like a raffle system for these guitars. So let's say I've got maybe $400 or $500 guitar that I got. And I may auction off, you know, let's see, whatever the math is, let's say 20 spots at $50 a spot, or I've done, you know, less expensive guitars, maybe 20 spots at $25 a guitar, as you know, just to build in a profit margin for myself. So somebody had the chance to win a nice guitar for 25 bucks. And it's all done automatic number generator online, Facebook Live, raffle drawing. So I did one of those and I sold a bunch. I ended up selling a lot of them. I'm on Reverb as a site where I sell the guitars, but I need to get back on that Facebook Live because I did have some good success. It's just building that base.
Right.
And I had a couple that I auctioned off, but then I actually took some off the latest auction because I ended up selling them on Reverb, which is it's kind of like a eBay for guitars type place. So, you know, with that and all the other side projects and my main primary jobs for my companies, it's a lot.
Jobs is right.
I stay busy though. That's, you know, it's kind of, we've all got our side gigs. You've got yours. That's, you know, I'm really enjoyed watching, and you know, that's what it's all about.
So Reed, I was trying to send James that video, this infamous video, but your site was private, so I didn't want to, you know, tread on there. So tell me a little bit about that video that's well known about you protecting your great looking dog and protecting yourself. And what are the details? Like, where was this at? And how did you find yourself in that situation?
It's so I live in Georgetown. We're on 5 acres, but we back up to the Williams County Park, if anybody's familiar with that. And Williams County Park's like 800 acres. And, you know, there's a bunch of trails back there, mountain bike trails, walking trails. So this is about 4 years ago. My wife and my kids and our 2 dogs at the time, we were watching the Texas Tech bowl game, and it was halftime. So we decided to go on a walk. Texas Tech was probably losing because they're pathetic. You know, let's get real here.
Playing tonight though.
Basketball is playing tonight. That was football. Basketball, I'm looking forward to that one. Let's talk about that. Anyway, we went on a walk, and our dogs took off, and we just hear them barking like crazy in the distance. And I'm, you know, just like, oh crap. Let me go get them. They probably cornered some wild animal. Well, we come around the bend, and I see both dogs. Actually, my wife called for our one dog. It's not the hunting dog, and she ran out of there, and she was out of breath. And so my other dog, the hunting dog, my dog Tucker, which is kind of the inspiration for Texas Point Outdoors and a lot of our hats, that you can see him right here.
Yeah, that's what I was telling James. He has that dog on his logo.
Yeah, that was the inspiration for Texas Point Outdoors. So that dog, my dog Tucker, is just going at it with this wild hog, and the hog was probably about his same height, but clearly a lot larger. And I've seen hogs out there in the past, never during the day, but over the years, it's just gotten worse and worse as more development encroaches upon us, that these hogs are kind of pushed out, and even in broad daylight. And we've even had them tear up our yard, but this was the first I've seen them during the day. And so I didn't have a gun or anything like that. It's just a family walk in the middle of the day.
Right.
So I picked up a softball-sized rock, and I was gonna just kind of toss it at this hog, thinking it might run off. Well, if you ever had dealt with wild hogs, they're very aggressive animals. So, anyways, my dog and this hog are just going at it. My dog's barking at it. It's charging my dog, and I'm just videotaping it because I'm thinking this is pretty cool. I mean, you don't see them during the day, you know.
Right. And
out of nowhere, this thing just charges me, and I've got it on video, and I was like, oh shit! And I had this softball-sized rock in my hand, and to the life of me, I can't remember how it happened, but I just kind of like swung like a underhand softball pitch. It connected, I guess, on the face of this hog, and knocked it out cold. I mean, I'm pretty sure I didn't kill it. Knocked it out cold, beat it with a stick, or more like a club, and then got the hell out of there. And my dog had been lacerated on its hindquarters. I mean, it ended up getting 13, 14 stitches.
Whoa.
So, you know, my wife and kids are freaking out.
Yeah.
You know, this is a family dog. It's a hunting dog, but it's a family dog.
Mm-hmm.
They're freaking out. We take it to the vet, and I told the vet, you know, what had happened. And I said, I got it on video too. And he's like, no kidding. Can you send me that video? And I was like, yeah. So I sent him the video. He goes, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. You're getting 25% off today. So they stitched at my dog. He said, but you're lucky. I mean, other dogs we've had in here, they've been eviscerated, completely torn apart, you know.
Reed, are you secretly,
I went back later and I couldn't find the thing. I went back with a pistol. So
Reed, are you secretly Deadshot from DC Comics? No, seriously.
it's a 1 in a million deal, my friend. I don't know how it happened. Since then, my friends would send me videos of people getting charged, men being charged by hogs and just being sliced up. So that kind of helped propel the Texas Point Outdoors Instagram, because I had all these videos and pictures of my hunting trips, and that one, I think I had uploaded on YouTube to like not a Texas Point Outdoors YouTube channel, a different channel at the time.
Right.
And I looked at it the other day, it had like 35,000 views, and it's pretty funny. You go through the comments and read people, it's always like positive and negative comments, you can never get a full, everybody to agree, but that was kind of what launched the Instagram to 10,000 followers, whatever it is. And then also kind of helped propel Texas Point Outdoors, which is just something fun we do. It was really started as a way to kind of keep track of all my hunting outdoor adventures, hunting, fishing, you name it, and just kind of keep it in one concise place. And then we thought, oh, let's make some hats and T-shirts, and we can sell those. And we've had some decent success selling a lot of those. And so yeah, that's kind of where that all started and where it came about. And obviously, you've got the straw hat that we had. That those will be good for summertime.
So you're telling me that you're sharp shooting, rock chunking, wild hog destroying, family dog protecting, eagle eye just destroyed and obliterated this hog and launched a huge corporation like Texas Point Outdoors?
I wouldn't say it's a huge corporation, but
it's big to me.
It's a nice side gig, and we sell a few hats here and there, and like anything, it's just ups and downs and challenges of business, and so it's just something fun we do. So
let's get into these Red Raiders.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Quarterfinals, Big 12 championship tourney going on, 8:30 p.m. tip off. What do the Red Raiders look like this year? They looked great 2 years ago, going all the way to the final. What do they look like now?
And I actually went to that game. So the last national championship game, I was there. I saw the Final Four on that. So diehard Red Raider. My wife and I both went to Tech. This year, I mean, they're good. They're not great. They've had some decent success the past couple of games. They got destroyed by Baylor. Their big weakness is they can't guard the perimeter like they have in years past. And so Baylor torched them. I think Baylor put up some kind of Big 12 record, or it was Maceo Teague had like a personal record, 10 for 12 from the 3-point line against Baylor our last game. They've been kind of up and down. They're starting to kind of get their stride just in time. Playing Texas tonight, they've been fortunate enough to beat Texas 7 out of the last 8 times and twice this year. But it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row. So and Texas is a very talented team, but I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a good game tonight. I mean, some teams you just match up better with, but then again, beating a team 3 times in a row, well, that's tough. I don't know.
I'm definitely looking forward to that tip-off tonight. I saw that West Virginia game earlier today and how Oklahoma State just really pulled away late. And West Virginia tried to make that comeback, late into the game, but just didn't have enough. Texas Tech tonight favored by 1.5 points. You like that bet, or you think that UT?
I mean, if you go like some past performance, that's about right. Yeah, I mean, Vegas, there's a reason they nail those things every time. That's about right.
All right, I'm rooting for the Red Raiders tonight, just for you, Reed.
Appreciate that.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, sir.
I always like to ask people, what do they want to leave the people with? What would you like to leave the people with tonight before we part ways?
Well, first off, go Red Raiders. Let's root
Guns
for them.
up.
Even though we're in Central Texas, and I did grow up a Longhorn fan, but get outdoors, go enjoy outdoors. That's, for me anyways, it just kind of, when I started off as a younger kid, it was all about hunting and killing things like that. But now as I've gotten older, I just enjoy being outside, and it kind of calms you. So whatever you can do to get outdoors, mountain biking, anything, get out there and just enjoy what Mother Nature's provided.
Yeah. Producer James, he's a local angler at our local city park pond that we get to frequent. So hopefully no GWs will be out there giving him a hard time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go get your merchandise for Texas Point Outdoors, there's a link in the description. If you're a wild hog, make sure you steer clear of Mr. Reed Coleman. And for everybody else, go out and support your local outdoors. Mr. Reed Coleman, thank you very much for your time tonight, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Reed Coleman. Man, dude, that's so fun. What'd you think about that video?
That's pretty nuts, man.
It's a pretty intense video, isn't it?
That's pretty nuts to say the least. Definitely.
We're gonna have to definitely get that intro promo cut for him so he can show his wife. The fellas need they need some support now and then, don't you think?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you want to make sure all this hard work going out there, this sacrifice, as they say. For me, it's just I can just do what I want. I don't have anybody telling me what to do. But sometimes we do need some people to tell us what to do. We just don't think we do.
Yeah.
And nobody's. All the women are like, yeah, well, ladies, sometimes y'all just need to know when to like not talk to us. Also, so I'm just gonna leave it there for now. It was fun to have Reed on there, dude. I was so glad he was able to talk about that video. If you haven't seen the video, go to Texas Point Outdoors on Instagram, and it'll be one of the stories. It'll be like Wild Hog, and you can click on the video and kind of watch it whenever you want to. But
I got a handful of people I'm gonna send that to.
Just tell them to go follow Texas Point Outdoors, and there'll be a video up there. They can kind of watch that. But shout out Chris Sanchez, recon athlete. He was the one who first introduced me to Reed, and he told me Reed had killed a hog that was attacking him and his dogs with a stone. And I'm like, dude, you're full of shit. Like, there's no way. A wild hog. He was like, yeah, he was on a hike and a wild hog attacked him.
Those things are, man, they're
dude,
so,
they are vicious. Yep. I mean, I've watched plenty of YouTube videos, and I've been fortunate enough to be at my buddy's land. The guy I talk about, but I don't ever tell you who it is or where he lives. He has a piece of land, and dude, the hogs were like coming into his like close to the house, like probably within 100 yards of the house, and that's close for a wild hog. So we got in the side-by-sides, and we like started chasing them. Well, this is within my rowdy days, and dude, we pulled up next to this hog, and we're going probably 15, 20 miles an hour. And look, for you elite athletes out there like Braylon James, 20 miles an hour is how fast you run. Big bodies like me, fat boys like me no, we don't run that fast. We've never ridden that fast. That's why when we roll the window down and we going 20 in the school zone, we put our head out the window just a little bit to feel the breeze in our beard, just to let y'all know.
If Braylon's at 20 miles, what are you at? It's like 7?
Bro, I'm like 2. I'm like Will Smith in summertime going 2 miles an hour so everybody sees me, okay? Okay. But yeah, we were going up against this hog, and we're like, bro, we're running it down, and I was going to like jump out and catch it. Because we could have had wild hog for the night. But it like banked off and like ran to the woods, and so we couldn't follow it because the vehicle was too big. Anyway, so getting back to the point is that these things they're tough, they're rough, they will fight you. They're probably not scared to attack you in any sense of the way. So for Reed to see that, or for Reed to do that, and for us to kind of see it, to validate it, pretty damn intense, don't you think?
Yeah, my brother slammed into one in my mom's car back in the day. Yeah, and what's funny about that, he was okay. The car was, not okay. But so he slammed into it, and then it kind of like it didn't die. It kind of was like, I think it was like rocked, and then it was still on the road, and another car came just
obliterated,
slammed right into it.
Well, see, I don't know if you know this, but like there's 2 types of hog, and the only reason I know this is because I've watched enough YouTube. There's the wild boar hogs, and those are the males, and they still have their cojones. For real. But then there's a bar hog, which it's a male, but it's been snipped, so they don't have cojones, but it's still a male. And the difference is that the wild boar hogs with the cojones, they develop this like shield, this like thick layer of either bone or cartilage or tissues. They've developed a shield, so when they fight, those tusks, they don't hit their organs. Well, the boar hog, or the bar hogs, BARR, they lose, and that shield kind of like evaporates, it deteriorates, and it becomes more soft so you can eat it. And that's a part of like wildlife management. So like you probably want like not a mature hog, but probably like an adolescent male hog. You want to snip the cojones so that it can be a good pig to eat and doesn't get too big, and then also doesn't procreate to create more of a invasive species and tearing up the land, especially in Texas. They're just so damn destructive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our wildlife part of the show. We really didn't mean to go that far into it, but you start talking about wild hogs and attacking people, and like the laceration on that dog's hindquarters, 13 stitches.
Yeah. That was pretty significant.
Yeah, that was pretty. You got to see the picture next, right? If you saw it.
Yeah. Going back to what Reed left us with about getting in the outdoors and stuff. I can't agree more. Me and my girlfriend went to Purgatory Creek in San Marcos not too long ago, and we didn't get lost, but we hiked for like 4 hours. But it was so relaxing just to be out there. It was just me and her, and spending some time and all of that stuff. I actually put I made a little recording on.
Scared me.
I made a recording and a video on my Facebook of us when I had some time. So I took my little tripod out there and just kind of captured the day. Didn't take too much work to do it, but it was really fun, and
I'm sure that was something special for her too.
Yeah. It's good to get outdoors, man. Unplug the PS4, put the cell phones away,
unplug altogether.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had a huge show. 27 minutes after the second hour. That was fun, though. I think we could probably go, I don't know. That's just me, though. Go longer. But it was a fun night. Tomorrow's probably going to be less eventful. But special guest we have coming Monday. Huge guest, huge Austin area celebrity. I'll leave you with a clue. The clue is Peanuts, the cartoon. All right, everybody. I'll let you know who that is at the end of tomorrow's show. He will be on Monday, 7:30. Dude's a living legend. We'll talk to you then. See you mañanas.